This crazy Wi-Fi of mine. I'm back. I don't remember what part you heard. I'm going to wait for y'all to join back. Are y'all back? I'm so sorry. I don't understand. I mean, I look at my Wi-Fi and I have a full signal, and then sometimes it just stops, and I don't. Oh, so frustrating. I'm so sorry. But I wanted to finish my story. So, welcome back. I won't be much longer. So thanks for. I'm gonna wait a few seconds to let people see that I'm back on. Um, so if you're catching the replay, welcome back. Um, so the thumbnails, I do not understand. I'm having a hard time understanding thumbnails because it's. I mean, I guess if the thumbnail's not interesting, people don't watch your videos. But I think that's because you don't have loyal followers. I think. And it's because I haven't earned the trust in people. And it takes time to build a relationship. Like, I mean, once you build a relationship with people, they're going to watch your videos regardless of what the thumbnail says. But unfortunately, it's like YouTube. You can't, like, the thumbnail has to be a reason to click. And that seems so silly to me. I'm just not that. I don't know. I'm just not. It's like I'm not that person. I'm not good at this. I'm not. I I feel like I don't know. It seems so fake to me. Does it to you? Like, I mean, but it's the truth. If you don't put something interesting on the thumbnail, people are not gonna follow. And it's like, but is that your mission? It's so confusing. It's why am I being called to YouTube? I, I don't know the answer yet because it wasn't my idea. I didn't know any of these people. I'm going backwards. Like, does God want me here? I don't know. Like, it feels very, very confusing to me that you have to. It's not a. It's not a because this is the way it is. If you put a thumbnail and you put something, you get called clickbait. And then if you put the honest truth of what's happening in the video, people won't watch. And I'm like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I don't understand it. Why can't I just be myself and people watch? And it's because I haven't built a relationship with people yet. People haven't got to know my heart. That I don't know. But like, what happens is when you build YouTube the way that I built it, which means you have 13,000 people overnight and you're not the people that where they came from, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't. And so I'm you know, I don't have I don't have a big channel going, "Y'all go watch our video. Oh my gosh, you can't wait to find out what happens with the cow." I don't have that. I don't have people promoting me. I have to do it myself. And I'm going backwards. And I'm like, is this really what God wants me to do? Like, is this, I mean, I'm spending hours upon hours in a day to film and edit and all this stuff. Am I making a difference in somebody's life? I don't know. Or am I just wasting my time because someone told me to do it? I don't know. It feels very uh conflicting to me. Um uh and I know that if you are a creator, you probably get what I'm saying, because a lot of people that are not creators are like, you shouldn't be doing this for money. You shouldn't be doing this. Like, you shouldn't focus on a dollar. And I agree. I agree. But then what happens is you find yourself spending 4 hours a day doing social media. And then you find yourself going, well, I'm not being very productive spending 4 hours a day editing a video and filming. So is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Or is this just what somebody taught me into? I don't know. It just feels like I'm going through um I've had many conversations with this one channel that I really kind of look up to, but I don't get to talk to them a lot. And we kind of talk about things. And sometimes you find yourself comparing yourself to other people. But is that really what we're supposed to be doing? Not really. Not really. You know, it just feels, I'm just venting, I guess. Um I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I put forth a lot of effort in the mornings with my lives. I spill my guts out in the mornings, being truthful about situations that I go through and how I got to where I am today. And sometimes I go, like, I can be scrolling through Facebook and let's just say Lester's on, and he has 2,000 people watching him, and I have 14. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, is am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be telling all my business and trying to teach people, like, God, are you, like, what are you, am I supposed to be doing this, or is this something that I've made up in my head or someone taught me into? Is this really what you want for my life? Am I supposed to be doing this? And I want you to relate to me in your own life. I'm talking about the life of being a creator, but whatever you're going through, do you sometimes just go, is this what I'm supposed to be doing in my life? Because I feel like I'm going backwards. I want you to relate to me that way. But it's like I'm trying, I really want my life to be complete. And I really want my life, I want to be doing what I'm called to do. I enjoy editing a video. It's fun to me, actually. It is very time consuming, but I do enjoy it. I do. I enjoy filming. I enjoy, what I really like is the fact that you can upload a video and go back and look at it years from now to see how you've grown as a person and how God has used you as a person. I enjoy that. I like the fact that if I left this world today, that my children can go watch what their mom used to do, because they don't watch me. I mean, not really. They don't watch what I do. Do they really know what I do? I don't know. I don't know if they do. But if God was to take me away from this world right now, my kids are left with 2.5 years of videos to watch me spilling my guts and working hard to try to make a difference. So, like, I do like that. There's a lot that I like. I love the relationships that I have built with people. Even though I am a small channel, I feel like I have met some of my best friends right here. So that's what keeps me going. But oftentimes I get stuck. I get stuck because sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Sometimes I feel like that. But then what'll happen is God'll I'll get like, let's see. Hang on. If this person's watching me, Judy, you're in my prayers as you go through your surgeries. Take it easy and heal. And when you feel better, don't overdo it trying to get things done. Bite your independence and ask for help. Stay strong and positive like you are. You are a wonderful and given person. Your YouTube friend, Shirley Curtis. I get something like this in the mail, and I'm like, somebody is listening. Or I start reading my comments and I'm like, I have the most beautiful backup dancers I could possibly ever imagine. I have some of the best friends I've ever met in my life. And then I'm reminded of why I work 4 hours a day editing videos, because there's people that care. But oftentimes, as we're going down this narrow path, we get off path. We kind of go like this, going down the path, and then we get pulled back in. And sometimes we find ourselves getting distracted on the main goal. Like we're going, I'm doing all this for nothing. Like we say that to ourselves. But am I doing all this for nothing? I'll just tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Yesterday, you know how Jack lost his eye? And sometimes when accidents like this happen, you're like, why Jack? He had these beautiful blue eyes. Why would God take Jack's eye away? Was it God that took Jack's eye away? I mean, surely the God that I serve would not do that to Jack. I mean, you know what I mean? This can't be a God thing. Like, I don't understand. The God that I serve wouldn't allow that to happen. But as I was picking up Jack from surgery, I thought, God, well, actually, I listened to this song. And the name of the song was Why Not Me? And I feel like God uses strong people. Jack is a strong gander. He's very strong. And God is using Jack. What is he doing? God is using Jack for a reason. And where I don't understand why God would allow Jack to lose his eye, I'm starting to understand, and it hasn't even been, I don't even know if it's been a full week yet. Maybe it's been 2 weeks. Yesterday, I had to go to a school. As I'm talking to the teacher, she just asked me what animals I'm going to bring. And I'm trying to decide what animals to bring. Sunday night, the teacher texts me, I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow and make sure that I have everything that you need. I said, and I was busy and I couldn't. I said, can you call me on the phone? So she called me and I said, well, to be honest with you, because I told her I would bring the ducks. And I said, to be honest with you, ducks are hard to bring because they're messy. Okay. They have a wet poop. And like, it depends on where I'm going to be. And I said, I'm having a little bit of anxiety about taking the ducks because I don't want poop all over your floor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And she was like, well, Judy, I was really excited for you to bring those disabled ducks and I was going to bring Chirps and Quacky Jacky. She was like, was really excited about you bringing the ducks because here at our preschool, we have a little boy that's 2 years old that's blind. And we have, I think she's 18 months. No, she was 2 years old too. We have a 2-year-old that has no hands. And I was really excited when you told me that you were bringing Quacky Jacky and Chirps because I really want you to educate these kids about not discriminating against disabilities because they're faced with it. I sat there dumbfounded. I was like, what? I said, okay, I'll bring Chirps and Quacky Jacky. I'll bring them. I got off the phone with her. And that morning, I felt a lot of anxiety. And I'm filming, okay? And I have a lot of anxiety because I'm like, these are preschoolers, okay? These are not school age kids. These are kids 18 months to 4 years old, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, this feels like a lot of pressure. How do I teach toddlers, or not even, toddlers, how not to make fun of this kid that's blind? And how do I teach them not to make fun of this girl with no hands? With Chirps and Quacky Jacky. And I sat there. I was like, I gotta take Jack. I'm sorry. I gotta take Jack. And I was like, God, are you using Jack to help kids understand? To help me understand? And I debated whether taking Jack or not. The whole video, I'm debating, do I take him? Do I not? Do I take him? Do I not? Like, are kids going to understand that Jack is blind? Like, these are 18 months to 4 years old? Are they going to understand? Like, how do I teach them? And throughout the video, you see me just kind of like talking to myself, going back and forth. Do I take him? Do I not? Do I take him? Do I not? And then I was like, I've got to take Jack. I've got to teach these kids. I've got to teach these toddlers. I have one shot at teaching these kids not to make fun of that little boy that's blind. I have one shot. I told you in the video, I had 5 classes. I had more than 5 classes. I had 8 performances to do yesterday. I got up at dark because I had to do farm chores before I had to be to school at 7:00 in the morning. And you're going to hear me in the video. Oh my gosh, I am fixing to do 8 performances for $350. I'm fixing to work all day long, sweat my butt off, load animals with stitches in my back, go to this school, unload. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this for like literally what I do one performance for, I'm doing 8. That's what I was doing in the beginning. And then God humbled me and went, it's not about the money, Judy. You're a servant. Go do good deeds. Go do good deeds, Judy. It's not about a number. But so many times as a human being, we get stuck on those numbers. Or I'm not measuring up like the other people. What's wrong with me? We do that. That's human nature. Comparing yourself to other channels or comparing yourself to other people, that is human nature. We do that. But the second I do that, God humbles my heart. And he says, Judy, go be a good servant. So I am out there going, oh God, I got to pick up this goat. Please don't let my back split wide open. I'm doing this for the children, and I'm going and I'm loading up the car. And you're going to see me in the video, loading up the car, going to this school. And on the way to the school, I'm sitting here going, what? Wait a minute. How do preschoolers learn? I'm used to older kids. How does a preschooler learn? And you see me going, okay, what do I say to them? I have one shot to make a difference in their life. What do I say to them? What do I do? And then I got out of the car and I asked the lady that's over the program, I said, how do toddlers learn? And I'm like really racking my brain. How do I teach them? And she goes, they ask a ton of questions. They want to know why. Why is the duck blind? Why is the goose blind? Why does the duck have one leg? They're going to why you to death. And I'm like, I feel so much pressure. I'm like, I have to make a difference. So I sat there. The video that I recorded was the first session. By like the 4th session, I had changed my ways of teaching. And I got better and better and better with every single session. But I said, I do what I normally do with Quacky Jackie. I covered her ears and I began to tell them that she had one leg. And I told them why. And they were asking me a lot of questions. But this is what I said. Because I needed to teach that dumping a duck is wrong. So I said, I had her ears covered. And I said, y'all, first of all, I had to tell them that she had one leg. And when I said, I had her ears covered, and I said, this is Quacky Jackie, and she has one leg. But it's important not to tell her she has one leg because she doesn't know she has one leg. So I need y'all. I want you to notice that she has one leg, but I want you to notice how beautiful she is and how loud she quacks and how she gets around differently from other ducks, but she knows how to walk. She just doesn't waddle like a normal duck. When I uncover her ears, I'm going to hold her up and show you that she has one leg. But instead of going, ooh, she has one leg, I want you to clap for her and tell her she's beautiful. I uncover her ears, I hold her up. Oh, Quacky Jackie, you're beautiful. They're doing it. They're doing exactly what I said. So then I cover her ears back up and I said, listen, this is what happened. I said, come close to me. I got her ears covered so she can't hear me. I said, someone left her at a park all by herself. And Quacky Jackie was sitting by the lake, and she didn't know anybody around her, and her owners left her. Because that's what happened. They understood, and their eyes started whelping up with tears. I said, she was left all by herself. And y'all, a dog was off the leash, and the dog bit her leg. And she was left there all alone with a broken leg. They understood that. I said, then the park owner knew that I had a farm, and they called me to come get her. And I rushed over to the lake, and Quacky Jackie was laying there. And I went and picked her up, and I took her to the doctor. I said, the doctor told me that her leg was going to have to be removed. And I said, doctor, is she going to be able to walk? Is she going to be able to have a normal life? I said, and you know what the doctor told me? The doctor told me if I wouldn't tell her she had one leg, she'd never know it. So we don't tell her she has one leg because Quacky Jackie is not treated any differently in my farm. She doesn't know. So we don't tell her, we show her love. They understood every single thing I said. Then I went to Jack and I said, you see that gander over there? I said, that's a male goose. I said, last week there was an accident and a chicken poked Jack in the eye by accident. And I had to scoop Jack up and take him to the doctor. I said, the doctor told me that Jack was going to have his eye removed and closed shut. Jack knows he has one eye because it was an accident that happened. Jack knows he has one eye. And if you walk over there and say bad things to Jack, you might hurt his feelings because Jack is having to learn to walk around and figure out how to do life with one eye. And if you make fun of him, you're really going to hurt Jack's feelings because he's trying really hard to learn to walk with one eye. But if you go over there and tell Jack to be strong and that he can do it and that you'll be his friend, you'll probably make Jack work really hard to continue at life walking around with one eye. They understood it. They were walking over to Jack going, be strong. Don't worry about your eye. You're beautiful the way you are. They were petting Jack, and Jack was letting them pet him. And I thought in the moment, that is what Snead's Farmhouse is about. It's not about comparing myself to other people. It's not about how big you become or how you're in the spotlight. That's not what God's purpose is. God's purpose is to call us to be as one. There's no such thing as a big channel and a little channel. Not really, not in God's eyes. It's about the servant. It's about what God has called you to do. It's about making a difference and teaching people God's love. And I was very humbled yesterday, and it brought me to my knees. But that doesn't mean as I go down this path that I'm not going to get off track again, because I am. I am a human being. It's not about what gets you off the path that makes you stronger. What makes you stronger is when you come back to the path that God has you on. So sitting it out is getting off the path and staying off the path and not missing your blessings. Dancing is when you humble yourself and you know that it's not about who's bigger than you or you going backwards. It's about the difference you're making in not thousands of people's lives. It's one person's life. And I'm glad that I was able to get humbled yesterday and see the path that I'm on. I hope that this story made a difference in your life, because I'm going to tell you, you're important to me. You're important to me. You help me stay on the right path. And I cannot thank you enough for following my journey, for encouraging me, for sending me letters. This right here means the world to me. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Today, I'm going to the doctor for my hormone checkup. I'm going to the dentist to have my 4 fillings. Wednesday, I've got to go into the library. Thursday is my surgery, my 3rd surgery for melanoma. Friday, the backup dancers are coming to my farm. And Saturday is Petals from the Past. So I have a busy week ahead of me. I am going live in the morning, so I will see y'all in the morning. I have no clue what I'm talking about. So I just wanted to pop on here and tell you what God humbled me and made me realize yesterday. I will see you guys in the morning. My video comes out at 2:45 today, and you'll be able to see it all in person. Now that you know my testimony behind it, it will probably be a little bit more meaningful for you to watch it, because you know where my mind went afterwards. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Have a great day.